DTM Race 2 of the weekend at the Norisring. René Rast going from pole position, awaiting the lights to go from red to green. And when they did, pedal to the metal for every one of the drivers then heading towards turn number 1. All drivers jostling for position, but what a start from Kelvin then, who's trying to make himself into P3 before turn 1. Well, certainly at the exit of turn 1, he had made it into P3. Meantime, the two BMW stars of René Rast and Sheldon van der Linde trying to make haste their escape up the road. The rest of the cars then all very clean and tidy through the Scholler-S's for the first time of asking where that surface changes from concrete to tarmac and back again, and then the series of pit stops. Kelvin coming in and also Sheldon van der Linde in now fairly early on in the mandatory pit window, and the cars now, this would be critical because Kelvin's rear wheels were spinning whilst the car was up on the jacks, and that would cause a problem for him later on in the race. So Sheldon van der Linde back out again. There you can see Kelvin, and just watch here the number 24 car. It gets a penalty lap, and that was because the wheels were spinning up there on the air jacks, which is absolutely not allowed. And therefore the penalty lap, where he has to go through that delineated section of the track, which is not quite as damaging as a drive-through penalty, but nonetheless it would put him much further down the order than he anticipated. So the race would continue then, and René Rast leading the race. Sheldon van der Linde under some real pressure, and as you can see here, Sheldon van der Linde initially losing out but coming back as well. And it would be nip and tuck between these two drivers. And in replay you can see Kelvin van der Linde also involved in a big battle here, and a little bit of panel rubbing going on between Kelvin van der Linde and that Lamborghini on his inside as they continue to jostle for positions. So René Rast then leading the race. Thomas Preining, though, really beginning to reel him in as if he was on the end of his fishing line. And Thomas Preining would make a move to the inside here. It was controversial, but I called it as being fair, and the race stewarding team seemed to think exactly the same, and René Rast said it felt really hard, but Thomas Preining had to make the move, and he did make the move, and that, once he got through, he was escaping up the road. So it was Preining from Rast, from Sheldon van der Linde, then it was Mirko Bortolotti and Kelvin van der Linde, ahead of Dennis Olsen, who was running in P6. So closing stages of the DTM race then, and the excitement would ramp up still further, unbelievably. And on the final lap, how big would the gap be between Thomas Preining and René Rast? Well, it was going to be pretty significant, as you can see, as Thomas Preining headed for home, weaving in success as he headed towards the checkered flag. He would take P1 ahead of René Rast and Sheldon van der Linde. He climbed to the roof of his car to celebrate. His father was in there to celebrate with him as well. Good job done by Thomas Preining, and the thousands of spectators absolutely loved it. Confirmation of the classification then, Preining from Rast from van der Linde ahead of Mirko Bortolotti and Kelvin van der Linde. Then it was Dennis Olsen, Lauren Heinrich, Kelvin, Maro Engel and Luca Stoltz.